Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how to do meeting situations. So this is basically driving on really narrow roads. I'm going to show you how to judge the space to go into, when to pull over, when not to pull over, judging other drivers' actions, and how to deal with those sort of scenarios. So if you want to know how to do that, stay tuned. So down this road here, as you can see, it's quite narrow up ahead there. There's only space for me really to fit through here. If there's an oncoming vehicle, one of us would have to stop. So this is what this video is mainly about. One of us would have to stop or go somewhere else, or go pull over to the left or pull over to the right. So the key here is you need to plan ahead. Like this guy doesn't plan ahead. He needs to reverse back now because he's came in too fast, and he should have stopped there where there's a lot of space. So he has to reverse back. You want to avoid these sort of scenarios here. If he was driving carefully and at the right speed, he could have actually anticipated that I might be there and stopped in time. So that was quite a good example to begin with. Okay, I'm gonna turn left here. We've got this lorry parked here, so it's gonna create a meeting situation pretty much straight away. So I'm gonna be extra careful as I come out, because I'll probably be the one that will have to stop if a car is coming down. So I'm coming out really slowly, checking into the road that I'm gonna turn into, checking down the road as well, but there's no one down there, so I'm gonna carry on. But as I do that, I'm checking for spaces that I can pull over into in case somebody does come. So where this lady's on the left here, there's a space just after her. If somebody did come now, I could actually go into the left side there. If I look ahead a bit more, there's a car coming down now. There's a space on my right here. I'm not going to go into there. I'll stop for him so he can go into there. And I'll put my car into gear one. Once he's gone, I'm going to check my mirrors again, and then I'm going to carry on. So in that situation there, it's all about making sure you've planned ahead before it happens. So I already had a plan before that car came, and the plan was for him to go into the right side there, or my right side. So I would only go to the left, and they would only go to their left. I would never go into the right where he was. If there was a space, I would wait for him to go into that space, then we can go around each other that way. Okay, I'm going to turn right into this road here. As I'm looking to the right, there's quite a bit of space, but again, I'm going to be in the meeting situation straight away. I'm coming out slowly because I can't see the left side here properly. Okay, it's nice and clear. And once I get through this space here, there's no spaces here for anybody, for me or any other car to come and park up. So anybody comes now there, they have to wait where that lady's walking down the road there. Okay, going around the bend. Can't really see much here either, so I'm going to go nice and slowly in case the car comes. Just going to check my right mirror before I move back out into the middle of the road. That's another thing to think about as well. You're positioning on this kind of road. You don't have space to go to and drive on the left side of the line here. You'd have to drive in the middle of the road. That way, you're not going to get too close to the left side or too close to the right side, because there's no space to fit the car in the left lane really, because it's not a big enough lane. So once you've gone into a space, let somebody go past, before you come out again, you check your right mirror, make sure there's no one there, and then you continue along. You check in the right mirror there in case anybody's overtaking us. So I'll show you what I mean again. So if we've got a car coming down the road now, I'm just going to check my center mirror, check my left mirror, go into the space, let the car go past, then check my right mirror again before I come out to make sure there's no one there. Okay, we've got a car coming here, so if you can see, I've got space on my left and on my right, but they've chosen to pull over on their left just there, which is fine. So it's a good idea as well to check your mirrors every now and again, especially the center one and the side ones. The center ones especially, because you want to see who's behind you, because that could affect how you're going to pull over. So there might be a space, but if there's like 3 cars behind you, it might not make sense to pull over there, because then everyone's going to be blocked. So you have a little look in your mirrors every now and again, just to see who's behind you, so you can have a good idea of what you're going to do. And also, like I was saying before, checking your right mirror before you come out is also very important. You could have bikes, sometimes even cars, trying to overtake you just before you move out back to the right again. Okay, checking both sides before I come out. So I can see a car coming down here now, so it's quite a narrow road, so I'm not going to come out, because if I come out, I'm going to be in the space that they need to drive in. So consider that as well when you're driving down these narrow roads. If there's an oncoming car from the other side, Be careful that you don't go into their path. You might be going into your lane, but remember that car would need to use that lane as well. So I can see two cars turning into here. They're already kind of, I don't know, I think they were pulling over. That was a bit dangerous. They overtook the learner as they were making a turn, but that's crazy. That's why you got to check your right mirror. See if that learner didn't check the right mirror, that could have been an accident there. So you see the learner had pulled over a little bit just to give some space, but I could see that if I'd gone forward, no one would have gone through because that black car was coming through as well. Which is why I pulled over for them. I had lots of space to do that, and then they carried on moving, but then the other car overtook them as they were coming out. So that's another reason you got to check your mirrors first. So we've got a van down the road there. I can't really see much space. Okay, he's pulling into my left. There's a car behind him as well. And two bikes. So I'm just going to position myself here. So I don't know if you can tell from the video my position, but I'm not fully into the left. I'm a bit out, so this lets other drivers know that I'm not parking here. I'm just waiting for this person to go past. If I was all the way to the left, then they might get the wrong idea. So I'm just going to wait until these people have gone past. Then I'm going to check my right mirror. There's a car behind me, so he knows what I'm doing as well. So as I'll start moving off and check my right mirror and then move off. So your position when you're pulling over like that, when you're pulling in, sorry, it's very important. You don't want to pull in all the way because people get confused. I think you're parked and then they will go around you as you're trying to move off again. Sometimes you might have to do that. Let's say it's a big lorry or something coming your way, or a bus. Sometimes you might have to move in all the way just to give them enough room. But if it's a car, which is like a regular vehicle, try not to go all the way to the left, just so that people know what you're doing. Also, you can have enough room to move off again. There's a space on the left just after the van, I think. Yeah, okay, here we go. So somebody's there. There's a big space up ahead there. Okay, there's space up behind the van as well. Actually, I can actually go in here. This is where you might see some people having arguments, because he could have stopped up here where there's space, but chose not to. Luckily, there was a space just where that van was. So like here, for instance, this car's coming through, but there's plenty of room now, so this guy should have no reason to worry. So I'm just going to pull into the left a bit, give him some space, check my right mirror, and then come back out again. So I don't know if you saw there, but when I was pulling in, I didn't go too close to the parked car on the left. I see my learners do that mistake quite a lot when they first start doing this kind of roads. If you get too close like that, you can't really come out comfortably, if I can say that. Give this guy some space to go around. Okay, and there's another car coming through, so I'm just going to wait here for them. So you see people flash. Sometimes people flash to say thanks, sometimes people flash to say come through. Okay, he's going to have to wait up there now because I already started moving and there's not much space. So yeah, as I was saying about people, they're flashing, just be careful to make sure you interpret the flash correctly, because sometimes people might be saying one thing and you think they're saying something else. So just assess the situation and see what they're actually trying to say to you before you make your move. So there's lots of room on the right here, so I don't have to go too far left as before, because he can go past quite comfortably, or she can, or he can, because there's lots of room. I'm just going to check my right mirror here. I check my shoulder here as well, just because I was on a bend, so I couldn't really see properly what was coming around the corner from my mirror. So just for extra safety, I checked over my shoulder as well, just before I moved off, to make sure that there's no one coming from my blind spot. Carry on. Then once I get here, I'm keeping to my side, and you can see there's a car coming down already. There's a couple of cars further down. So when I look down this road here, there's not much space on the left or the right. So it wouldn't make sense for me to go in there right now, because these guys won't have anywhere to go. And then I would have nowhere to go, then we'll get stuck. And once they've gone past, I'm going to look for any more that are coming through. It looks like there's no one else. I'm going to check my right mirror here and then start moving off. And as I'm doing that, I'm really scanning for spaces again, like I was saying before. I'm scanning for more spaces on my side and on their side. I can see a space on the right side here, so if somebody did come, they could go into that space there. Okay, turning left into this side road here. Again, looking down the road for any potential mid-meeting situations, but it looks quite clear right there. There's no one coming down at the moment, but there are limited spaces on the left. So once I've gone past the space on the left here, it doesn't look like there's many more spaces. So I'm gonna hopefully not see anybody right now. They've got space on the right there. Sometimes you won't see the space until you go a bit more forward, but if you can't see the space from far away, just assume that there might not be any space and approach it quite slowly so that you can deal with it properly. Okay, so we've got this car in front, and we've got another oncoming vehicle, so we're going to get into a situation with them as well. So they wait for us, we go around them, and then as I'm going to check my right mirror before I come out again. I'm not going to come out actually, because there's a car coming down the road. So sometimes if you're not looking carefully, you might miss hidden cars from the car in front of you. And bikes, treat them the same way as well. Like, we've got a motorbike coming down here. I'm not going to come out yet because he needs the space as well. I'm just going to check my right mirror and then move out. I've got another situation pretty much straight away. I'm going to go back into the left. So just some quick tips before this video is finished. So when you're dealing with narrow roads, you want to make sure you're planning ahead in time. Make sure you look for spaces on the left for you that you can pull over into if somebody does come. You're looking for spaces on the right in case somebody can pull over into there as well. When you're pulling into the left, don't pull in all the way unless you really have to. Position yourself in a way that's you kind of out, and so people can differentiate between you and the parked vehicle, so they know you're not parked there. And before you come out again, definitely have that right mirror check before you move, because as you saw earlier in that example, people sometimes do go around at a time when you're trying to move off as well. So make sure you check that right mirror before you move off. Don't get too close to the vehicle that you're pulling in next to, because it might be too difficult for you to steer out again. And if you have to get really close because there's not much space, make sure you control your clutch in a way that your car is not moving too fast, and steer properly. Sometimes you might need to do a big steer to go around, and make sure you don't go so much to the other side that you get too close to the parked vehicles over the other side. Bikes and small vehicles, treat them just pretty much the same. So don't think that, oh, because it's a small vehicle that they're not going to need space. So make sure you give them some room as well. If you need to pull over, make sure you can pull over for them. If they need to pull over, they can do that as well. Larger vehicles, you might need to give them a bit more room. So make sure you sometimes if you look for a room on their side, it might not be big enough for them. You might need to pull into a space to let them go past, because they haven't got any room on their side. If you do pull in for a big vehicle, make sure you pull in quite a lot to make sure that they've got enough room. And if you have to do that, sometimes you might need to double check your mirror and maybe signals or before you come out, because you might look like you're parked. But generally, when you're coming out again, if you position correctly, people should know what you're doing, and a right mirror check would be enough. You don't need to signal each time that you're coming out of that spot. So I really hope you found this video useful. If you did, just you know what to do, press like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff, and I'll see you in the next video.